Hey guys, you're listening to Melody Shuman Breaks It Down. My name is Melody Shuman and I'll be your host for today. This is my 10th podcast episode, and today we're going to be talking about edutainment. Now, this is something that I coined back in the mid-90s. I pulled from my experience working at Disney and integrated edutainment into my ability to teach children martial arts on the mat while also making it fun. And this concept carries over to being a great parent, being a great teacher, and any other coach for that matter. Anytime that you can make learning fun, you're going to get much better results because let's face it, when we're working with kids' number one priority is to have fun, because when they're having fun, they're happy, and it's the best way to help them learn. And when we talk about education, whether it's being a parent, a teacher, or a coach, what we want to ask ourselves is, how can we make learning fun while also integrating some type of education or helping establish good habits? So let's talk about things that typically are not fun in different areas of children's life. Let's start talking about what's not fun at home. Two things when you think about what's not fun at home are homework, right? And chores. When you think about homework, the ways that you can make it fun is in the environment that they're doing their homework in, okay? So when you think homework, think environment. So let me give you a couple of examples. Instead of having your child do homework at the kitchen table or at their desk where it represents the work, right? And it's not exciting, you're not going to get the best results from them. You're going to have those children who naturally love to do homework. I was one of them. I love to learn. But a typical child, when they sit at the kitchen table to do their homework or dining room table, or they sit at their desk in their bedroom, their mind is going to wander. It's not very fun. So what are ways that we can change the environment to make it fun? Well, they can make a fort or a tent. Think about it that way, especially for your early educators. Having a really cool tent where they can sit in there, or they can make their cool little fort in their room and they can sit in there. For your preteens and teens, you can even have them sit in mom and dad's car and listen to music while they're doing their homework, as long as they're productive. Other things you can do to make the environment fun for homework is, instead of having them do it at the kitchen table every day, let them go to a park and do their homework. Another idea is really thinking about sensory integration, taking them to a candle store and letting them pick out their favorite scents, and also letting them pick instrumental music. Even if their favorite band is 21 Pilots, I'm sure there's got to be some type of instrumental version of 21 Pilots out there available in iTunes or somewhere, where you let them pick, hey, this is the scent of candles I want to have in my room while I'm doing my homework, and I'm going to have this instrumental music playing low in the background. So that's edutainment right there. It's making homework a little bit more exciting. It's thinking outside the box. Obviously, this isn't something that you have to do every day at home, but it definitely does mix it up, especially when they're stuck in a rut, right? That's really where edutainment can come into play and get them back into that consistency. And I came up with this idea because my son, who's almost 2 years old, he's not really big on me reading books. He's got, ADD already. So we'll get to the first or second page and he already wants to grab another book, or he wants to go play with his drums, because just sitting down and reading is not stimulating enough for him. So I came up with this idea by buying him a little tiki tent, and at night, when we have an opportunity for me to spend some time reading a book, we'll sit in the tent and we'll turn on a special lamp and I'll read him books, and he pays attention a lot more that way. He also likes to do forts in the living room. So we do a lot of really cool forts with sheets and blankets, and that's when I take advantage of the opportunity. When we make those forts, I get books out, or I'll get a learning app from his iPad and we'll sit down and we'll play those to help him learn. So it's making learning fun. Let's talk about, obviously, chores for kids. Chores are not fun unless you start them off early. Like my son absolutely loves to sweep. He loves to vacuum. He loves to wipe things down. I think getting him involved in doing chores at an early age and making it exciting and being patient with him makes them embrace and accept chores a little bit more. So if you're not getting them involved early enough, then you're going to have bigger struggles as they age. So here's some ideas on how to make chores fun. When you think chores, think games. Make it fun. You can have a race against the clock. You can say, okay, Johnny, you got 5 minutes Let's see if you can clean your room in 5 minutes, or let's see if you can sweep the back patio in 5 minutes. And, if you jump in this race, it's going to make it even more fun, where you say, listen, Johnny, you're going to clean your room. I'm going to clean my closet, and we're going to see who can get finished in the next 10 minutes. Now, obviously, if you are sloppy, then it doesn't count. You have to go back and redo it. So making it a race is a lot of fun, or saying who can do the best job. So saying, Johnny, you're going to make your bed. I'm going to make my bed. Let's see who does a better job. So healthy competition with games, that makes chores a lot more fun than just telling them, hey, you need to go make your bed. Hey, you need to go clean your room. Another way that you can make it fun is you can hide a prize somewhere in the house. And it doesn't have to be a big prize. It could be a pack of stickers. It could be a little piece of paper that says you get to pick the movie night tonight, or you get to pick the dessert, or you get to pick what we're going to eat, and hide that in like a little envelope. And after he completes all of his chores, say, now you get to go find your prize for today. So again, this isn't something that you have to do every single day. This is something that you can integrate into your family, especially when your kids are stuck in a rut. So edutainment for at-home things that are typically boring. So once again, if you think homework, think environment. Change the environment if they get stuck in a rut. If the chores become boring and they get stuck in a rut, to add edutainment to it, make it a game. Let's talk about if you're a teacher. What are some activities, or what are some things kids typically find boring in school? Well, a lot of kids don't like to read. So if you're a teacher and you think reading, think challenge. So what you can do is you could say, for example, if everybody reads quietly for the next 10 minutes, the chapter that we're talking about in the book, or whatever reading activity they have, then we'll play a fun game of Simon Says after that. So challenging them to be quiet helps them develop that habit, right? Because neurons that fire together wire together. So the more that they get in the habit of reading and being quiet, the better they will be at it. So integrating some type of challenge into this activity, it makes it very entertaining because they have something to look forward to at the end. I'm a big proponent of rewards when children have good behavior, because I also believe that the more habits they have when they're utilizing good behavior, the more they're consistent they're going to be with it, right? Let's talk about activities. Sometimes kids don't like to do their learning activities during class. So what you can do is, when you think of activities, think of choices. Give them choices to have when they do that activity. So for example, if they're doing like 10 math problems in the next 5 minutes, you can say, well, you can start on the first problem and work your way forward, or you can start on the last problem and work your way back up. So even just giving them a simple choice like that makes it a little bit more entertaining. Or you can let them sit somewhere else in the classroom. So you could say, hey, you know what, we're going to do these math problems now. And what I want you to do is I want you to pick wherever you want to sit. So everybody can go ahead and switch desks. You can sit next to your friend. Just remember, we got to follow the classroom rules. But that makes it exciting too, because now they have a choice. I'm choosing to sit over here. So now I'm more intrinsically motivated to do my math problems. It's kind of entertaining in that way, because now they're happy about where they're sitting. Or again, if you have them picking if they're going to work from their problems forwards or backwards, that's a lot of fun. Or what you can also do is you can tell them, hey, listen, if everybody gets this activity done within the next 10 minutes, then we'll have a vote and you guys get to pick which game we're going to play in class. And of course, one really fun classroom activity, like I said, is Simon Says. Kids just really love that activity, especially if they win, then you let them be the one to do Simon Says next for everybody else. The other fun activity, obviously, is Heads Up, 7 Up. So when you're thinking, if you're a teacher at school, a couple of things that kids typically find boring is reading or activities. A way to integrate edutainment into that for reading, make it a challenge. If it's an activity, get them involved in a couple of choices. As a matter of fact, just kind of as a side note for sports athletes, and we're going to go into this next too, but if you're a coach or you're a martial arts instructor, choices work really well for your activities. Let me give you an example for martial arts. In our program, kids really don't typically like to do forms. The average kid, you got your anomalies who are going to love to do forms, but forms can be tedious and the repetition can become boring. So one way to get kids involved in wanting to do their form with more excitement, and a great way to edutain them is to let them pick how they want to do their form. You can tell them, you could do your form backwards. You could do your form in slow motion. You could do your form speedy, as fast as you can. You could do it blindfolded. You could do it holding weights. You could do it in cadency, syncing with a partner, do your form together. And when they pick how they want to practice that activity, they're more excited because it's more entertaining. So let's talk about some other ways to integrate edutainment into sports activities. So if you're a coach or you're a martial arts instructor, let's talk about two things that kids typically find boring. Well, one of them is exercises, and one of them are your basic drills, right? So one way to make exercise a lot more fun is to integrate neurobics. And basically neurobics is making them think while they're doing their exercises. So if you think about a kid doing just 10 push-ups, counting to 10, well, the mind can wander. They're not going to be as excited about it. Their brain isn't really getting involved. And one thing that neuroscientists talk about is exercise is great to kickstart your brain. If you can kickstart the brain while also integrating some thinking activities simultaneously, you initiate what's called electrical spikes. And this is the amount of neurons that really start firing to get the brain going so that you can continue your practice with more focus and more alertness to the activities at hand. So exercise, think neurobics. So for example, instead of doing 10 push-ups, counting to 10, you could say, all right, we're going to run through the alphabet. So we're going to go A, B, C, all the way up. This is a lot of fun. Or instead of counting to 10, you'll have them take turns. I want Johnny, you're going to count, but you're going to name 10 superheroes. So, he'll say 1, Batman, 2, Superman, 3, Spider-Man, 4, Iron Man, all the way up to 10. So that makes it really exciting. For the younger kids, then you can name like 10 fruits. So you could say, Johnny, I want you to name 10 fruits. So 1, apple, 2, banana, 3, orange, 4, watermelon, all the way up. So this is integrating neurobics because now your brain is actually starting to think about another category while they're doing exercises. And even though maybe Johnny is the one who is counting by fruit or counting by superhero, don't think that the other kids who are participating in the activity aren't thinking in their head, what superhero would I say? Or what fruit would I say? And what that does is expands the brain. It expands all those neurons firing through the brain, right? And again, as neurons fire together, they wire together. So that's how you increase students' level of alertness and focus to the task at hand. Obviously, this benefit can carry over at home too. So parents, if you want to do some at-home exercises with your kids, neurobics is one of the great ways to go. As a matter of fact, I do it with my son when he's brushing his teeth. So we count to 10. Sometimes we'll do the alphabet, even when I'm changing my son, because my son does not like to get his diaper changed. He doesn't like for me to change his clothes. So when I get him ready or I get him to lay him down to change his diaper, I say, okay, what song do you want to sing? And usually it's the alphabet or it's Mommy Loves You. Or of course he'll say 21 Pilots and I'll say, okay, what song do you want me to sing? So, I'll sing some chords from that and it redirects his attitude and it makes changing a lot of fun. So integrating neurobics back to the topic, if you're a coach or martial arts instructor, into your exercises, it's very entertaining and it has a lot of underlying benefits as well. And then let's talk about, your typical drills. For example, a baseball coach, one of the typical drills may be passing and catching. In martial arts, it may be a drill where you're using a floor drill where you're kicking down the mat or punching down the mat. Obviously children have to pound through that repetition in order to develop muscle memory and also develop technique. Well, what you can do is you can make it fun by using a little bit of trickery to get them started. So saying things like, on your marks, get set, goose, or go-kart, or gopher. And what that does is it loosens them up a little bit and gets them excited. And when you say, okay, we're going to do this drill, a lot of times the brain will probably jump to the part of their mind where they're thinking, oh, this is boring. And what you want to do is you want to kind of trick their mind back into having fun. So using that trickery, on your marks, get set, goose, don't go, gopher, go-kart, snow. Anything that sounds like go gets them laughing, gets them having a good time, and then they forget that this drill is boring. And then of course you can always integrate some more neurobics into that drill as well. While they're doing their floor drills down the mat, instead of counting and doing 5 kicks down the mat, they can name 5 fruit. And you can let them pick which category they want, or you can provide them categories depending on their age. The same thing again, if you're a coach, if you're doing a passing and catching activity, they can pass and they can say a superhero and go back and forth and see how many superheroes they can name going back and forth. So again, edutainment is making learning a lot of fun, and it takes something that's boring and makes it exciting, and it also helps them develop good habits. So things like chores can now become something that they look forward to and get excited about, or warm-ups they can get excited about, or doing their homework they can get excited about. Think about it. If you're driving Johnny home from school and Johnny goes, "Mom, I have about 2 hours worth of homework. I'm so bummed out." And you say, "You know what, Johnny, let's do this. Let's go to the mall. Let's go to the candle store and you can pick out your favorite scent candle. And then when we get home, we'll go to iTunes and we'll download. You can pick out what kind of instrumental music you want to listen to in the background. So while you're doing your homework, you'll have this nice, good smell, scent, and also you'll have this really cool music to help inspire you." So think about how much more excited Johnny's going to be about doing his homework. Or if Johnny says, "Mom, I've got a lot of homework to do," and you say, "Tell you what, when we get home, we'll turn your bedroom into a fort and we'll get blankets and sheets and we'll make yourself your own little private homework cave where you can sit down and do your homework in there." So again, this is integrating edutainment. It's making learning fun. So this is Melody Shuman for Melody Shuman Breaks It Down. Again, our job, my focus and priority is to help children become better versions of themselves. And this is just one other great strategy to help you accomplish that. Guys, have a great day. Thank you so much.